That's what I feel like we're going through. I feel like we're all going through some kind of rebirth.
I think so.
And I feel
Yeah.
like we're all getting to know this new version of us. We're all falling on the floor, getting back up, not understanding what's happening. We all want to know what's coming next.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
I
feel
know
like
I
we're
want to know what's
really,
coming next too, but
yeah,
they're not
yeah.
telling me. They
Because,
want us to live through it.
well, and it's a leap of faith, right? They want you to trtrust.
Yeah. Well,
And
it's a leap of faith, but you know what else it's a leap of? And really wanted to ask you this is we're co-creating it.
100%.
And so it's like, what's coming next? Well, what do you want to come
Yeah.
next?
Yeah.
It's
And
like, wait,
also,
wait, wait. No, no, no. What's coming
yeah.
next? Yeah.
And it's like they give you glimpses, but you want
Mhm.
more. You want to
Yeah.
know it all. And it's because, a lot of humans say, I love change. Of course I love change. You love change when you know what it is, when you see it coming,
Yeah. Yeah.
when you don't see it coming. And we all feel change coming and it
Me
makes
too.
us feel uncomfortable. And the human
Yes.
mind loves to
Yeah.
plan, right? It's like,
Yeah.
give me a plan, give me a next step.
Yeah. Where's the manual? Yeah.
I want to know what to do next. And it's like, well, what you need to do next is to breathe, the self-care is to be present and trust whatever's coming next.
And stay present
Yeah.
because it's not happening just to you. You're adding your soul. You're adding
Yeah.
yourself to it. Comes
Magic is in the present.
yeah.
If
Yeah.
you can be present in this moment, just, close your eyes for a second
Mhm.
and just breathe in, feel the magic that's inside you and around you, then the next moment becomes even more magical. The next moment
Absolutely.
becomes,
Yeah.
and it's just, the unknown is uncomfortable. So this period is meant to be uncomfortable.
Does it look like humanity is having a dark night of the soul these days? What do the Akashic Records have to say about this? And what is your soul path through this dark night of humanity? That's what we're going to talk about. Um, Welcome. This is Angelscapes Podcasts, and I'm your host, Nancy Smith. And I want to invite you to join my Soul Power Living group on Facebook. It's a place where you can go and discuss all these topics and issues that we bring up in the podcast. Joining me in this episode is Nimesh, also known as Nims Radia, a channel of the Akashic Records. And we're going to talk a little bit about the big planetary shift that we're all going through right now. The masculine is shifting to the feminine, and what on earth does that mean? And how does he know this is going on? We're going to talk about how he accesses the Akashic Records. So, welcome to the show, Nims. Good to
Thank
see you.
you. Thank you, Nancy. Thank you for the welcome. Glad to be here. I'm looking forward to the conversation.
Oh, me too. So, a little bit about the Akashic Records, because that's very important too. I am an Akashic Records practitioner, and I always love to hear what people, how'd you learn about it? How do you access it? What does it feel like when you're in there?
Yeah, I mean, so the way I describe the records is it's a record of everything your soul's been through: current life, past life, future life, prior life. Everything about you, energetically, your soul's journey is stored in the records. And the human would struggle to retain all of that information. So when you tap into the records, you basically get what you need rather than what you want. So they give you an
Mhm.
insight into your soul's journey, the karma that you brought into this world, what you're here to release. But they'll give you insight into help you in your journey. They're not going to stop you going through something painful if you're meant to, but they'll give you an insight. And my journey with the records, I was working with my mentor, my friend Cedric Jeffrey, and when she left this realm in March 2020, she quickly became a spiritual guide, and she's the one as a guide that pushed me to learn how to read the records. And I really wanted to understand my soul contract with her, and that's what led me down this path. I understood that she's supposed to be on the other side, and I do the work here. I talk to her all the time. Why can't we do the other way? But it's fine. But yeah, I mean, that opened me up to really I see now the records as a way of building a connection with the other realms, building a strong connection with my guides. And sure, they give me insights, they give me answers, but it's so much more than that. And I feel like everybody's tapped into the records in some kind of way. So if you've done a meditation, you've channeled a message, you've used your intuition, I feel like you've tapped into the records. It's just, as humans, we love a term, right? And Akashic Records is that. And
Yeah.
for me, it's just a way of tapping into the energy and the vibration that's around us and building a deeper connection. I feel like the planet has so much magic around us now, even more than ever. And I feel like it
Why
gives
do you
you.
feel that way? What makes you feel that way? What are your signals?
So I mean, you mentioned it, and we talked about it before we began. I feel like the shift the planet's going through right now has been planned for centuries. I feel like,
Mm.
we've created this structure which is very masculine, right? Very individual ego orientated, very, all about war, all about politics, all about the individual. We put all these egos on, and that I feel like this shift is been planned. As I feel like we're shifting from divine masculine, which is all about the individual ego. It's not about male or female. We all have masculine and feminine, right? So, but the
Absolutely.
feminine is more about the heart. So I feel like we're shifting from I think to I feel, and the shift, the dark night. So you talk about the planet's going through. The planet has to go through a massive shift to really kind of be reset, reborn, and and so I feel like right now, all the shifts the planet's going through, all the pain on the planet. Do I wish it could be not as painful? Yeah, it'd be great. But at the same time, we have to break down all this structure and all this everything we've created. And every soul that's here right now, I really believe was chosen and is selected. And if you're going through something painful, it's expanding your soul. It's releasing some karma.
Mm.
And if you can really change your question and ask, what is it teaching me? Because it's your soul's
Mhm.
choice, right? Whether it's karmic release, whether it's a soul expansion. So if you change your question to, how is this serving me? What am I learning from this experience? What that does, it increases your awareness
Mhm.
of what's happening, and then you can lead you to accepting.
Mhm.
But this is a challenging period, right? I mean, everybody's lots of astrologers have talked about this week in particular. I don't really I feel like this week is a beginning rather than a massive, oh my God, what are we going to do this week? But I do feel like things are beginning
Yeah.
to shift.
So I missed this memo about this is a big week.
Oh, yeah.
What is this the
I mean,
beginning of? Let's.
it is a big shift, right? I mean, there are, I'm not a big astrology follower, but I do kind of keep an eye on it more now because I just feel like it's important. There are 7 planets in Aries,
Mhm.
new moon in Aries tomorrow.
Yeah.
This sort of astrology movement hasn't been happened in like last time this many planets Aries, I think it was 13th
Right.
century. So
Yeah.
it's a, but then if you, that's Western astrology. If you follow Eastern astrology, it's all different. But it's just an energy. For me, the energy of this week feels like a shift. New moons for me are all
Oh
about
yeah.
new beginnings. And
Yeah.
I do feel like the phase we've just been in it, and for a lot of us we're still in there, it's kind of been like a holding pattern. We don't feel comfortable in our old world. It feels like we don't fit in. We don't belong. But our new world's not ready, so we've been kind of in this
Mhm.
limbo phase of whatever's
Yeah.
coming next, and I feel like whatever's coming next will start to be revealed over the coming period. Having said that, I do feel like over the next couple of months the planet's going to go through some massive shifts. I don't know what it's going to look like, and I'm very
Yeah.
conscious of the words I pick. But I
Yeah.
do feel like there's going to be some surprises, some massive shifts, and
Mhm.
the more present we can be, the more breathe and be present, because you have no control of the future, really.
No, you
And
don't.
the past is already, unless you have a time machine, you can't really go and change the past. So you can learn from it, but the
Hmm.
magic is in the moment. So if you can be present, if you can, the self care right now, I feel is so much more important. It's like everybody wants to fix, right? Give me a meditation, give me a course, and I'll be fixed. And I
Right.
feel like you've got to do the self care. You've got to meet the universe halfway. And you
Yeah.
do that by
Yeah.
meditation, time in nature, just breathing, deep breathing, time,
Absolutely.
time physical activity. And it's just what that does, it gives you like a little
Mm.
peace inside. So it allows you to respond instead of reacting.
Well, that's the key there to respond rather than react. React is from the old voices inside from the young children that are afraid or the control
Yeah.
freaks that,
It's primal though, right? It's what
yeah,
we,
it's absolutely
what
primal.
as humans, but we have to build a muscle to be something different.
Yeah, the challenge is building that muscle of
Yeah.
let's go to the soul. Let's say, hey, what's really going on here? Do not be afraid of this.
I
But
mean,
but you're going
yeah.
to have reactions to it, but come back to yourself.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
breathing. But that's what time in meditation, time in silence. So I love my time in silence. What that does, it gives you a solid base. And from that base you get to respond rather than react.
Hmm.
because the calm that you're looking for is inside, not outside, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, we are. Look, our programming is to react. If we're attacked, we want to defend. If we're, if we
Oh,
feel pain, we just want to go in a little bubble. Whereas, when you have that time for you, when you get to know this version of you, you can breathe and you can respond.
oh, yeah, that is so, so, so true. I know you had said, let's get a quote. I'm taking a quote off your website. I don't have it exactly, but you were saying when you were going through your process of opening up and you wanted to go out there and fix something or find some energy that's going to make it, make things work. And then you realized, oh, it's in here. And I think the Akashic Records brought you home, is what you're
Yeah, I
saying.
mean that was a part of it. I mean, that was much earlier. It was about 20 years ago. I experienced some dark magic, and before then, I was very mental. I was very, PMA, positive mental attitude. And then I experienced, I guess one of my dark nights of soul, and experienced some dark magic. I struggled out of work financially and all that for 2 years. I got out of it, and I realized that there was so much more going around me. And then once you do that, you go down a path of, all
Hmm.
right, let me find a teacher, let me find a meditation, let me find something, and all of a sudden I'll be fixed. And because we're trained to bypass, right? We're trained to
Oh, yeah,
give
yeah,
us a fix, and that's what I was
yeah.
looking for. And eventually, I realized that actually everything I need is inside me. All the love, all the joy, all the answers
Hmm.
are inside me. They're not outside me. I mean, even with the work I do, mentor guide people, I'll always say, I will never tell you what to do. I'm going to guide you to you because your answers are in you, not in me.
Correct.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
this
Yeah.
life
Yeah.
doesn't have to be that complicated. I didn't say it was going to be easy because we
Well,
soul might pick
yeah.
tough things, right? It is what it
Yeah.
is, right? So, but it doesn't have to be complicated.
Right. I had been wanting to ask you ever since we had that first conversation
Sure.
when your teacher um was passed, and it was so sad. It was just not that long ago. 2020, was
March
it?
2020, yeah.
Yeah. And then she came to you as a guide, and I would love if you, without getting too personal, you to
Sure.
describe that
Yeah, whatever.
experience. How did you know she was there for your guide? How did you, what were the signs? What were the feelings?
I mean, there's a few things. One, actually, she prepared us for her not to be here. I mean, she joked about it. She's talked about it. I'm not going to be here. You guys have to, carry on. She called me her trump card all the time, and I was like, what does that even mean? And she's like, you'll get what it means. And it's like when she passed away, and she passed away in a fire, as only she was
Yeah.
very, very, very fire vibration. So but when she left, it was like there was a calmness. I miss her obviously, but there was a calmness that came over me, which helped me to understand she's exactly where she's meant to be.
Mm.
And then I just started feeling her around me. I started hearing her around me, and it was just I'd already done a lot of spiritual work. I'd already connected to my dad, and he's a guide too. And but yeah, her energy of vibration is so loud. I couldn't miss it.
Hmm.
I couldn't miss it, and it was just it was in all forms, in my dreams, in my thoughts, and it was a little bit overpowering. And I mean, so many of the people I work with who've never met her can feel her energy too, right? I feel like she guides people
Okay.
to me.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I feel very blessed with her support. Um, yeah, I mean, humanly, of course, I'd wish her to still be here, right?
I know. Yeah.
But I know that it's really interesting there was like a really calmness that came over me, which said to me, obviously over a few days, but she's exactly where she's meant to be, and she can help so many more people where she is. Because when she was here, I mean, she channeled at such a high level, she struggled to be in her physical body at times.
Oh.
And I was, like I said, I mean, I still miss her, but I saw her evolution from human to real spiritual guide. She was channeling so much that she'd spend a lot of time in that realm,
Hmm.
and I know that she can do so much more in the other realms. So yeah,
Beautiful. Oh, beautiful.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
and death is, grief is such a big, both my
Mhm.
parents, them leaving this realm over dad was over 30 years ago, mom was over 15, and grief is such a big expander.
say that again. Grief is such
Yeah.
a big expander.
Expander. It's expander.
Yeah,
It's such a
yeah,
big teacher.
yeah,
It's hard. Of course it is. I mean,
yeah,
I often wonder why Dad had to go. And Dad was spiritual. And I was like, well, hold on. He had never got to see this version of me humanly. And it's just like, and he does, but he gets to see it on the other side because he's one of my guides, but
yeah,
not
yeah.
the same, right? But
He has probably a marvelous view. I
yeah,
don't know what you do it, but
yeah,
I love that you said grief is such an expander because grief is I well working as a medium you feel the grief but I've been with a lot of people who are grieving and it's a state of grace is what
yeah,
I say you're
yeah,
I know you feel isolated. I know you feel like the world has left you behind, but this is the time when spirit is the closest. So,
yeah.
um,
I mean, it's always harder for those left behind, right?
oh, it is. It is.
Because the soul transitions. I mean, again, it's whatever you believe is your truth, but I believe the soul continues, it transitions, it's a
Mhm.
soul journey, and each life is a blip, right? And
Oh, yeah.
but it is harder for those left behind because there's a hole, right?
It is. It is.
And
And
it takes time for you
yeah,
to connect with whoever on the other
yeah,
side, and
yeah.
but I do believe that we can't change when we come into this and leave this realm. I so
When we leave this realm, we're going home, but we don't know that until we're home. And all of the spirits that talked through me have tried to explain that, but the person sitting in front of me, they miss the touch. They miss even the smell of their hair. They miss, they go, how can that be? We're so immersed in our three-dimensional forms,
but there's no right or
bodies.
wrong way to
Yeah.
grieve, right? I mean, anyone says,
It's
oh,
over it.
it's going to get easier and whatever.
No.
How do you know that? I mean, that's not up to
Yeah.
you. I mean, just so there's no right or wrong way to grieve, but the way that I describe it is there comes a point where you start to celebrate their life rather than more their death. And
That's yeah.
that for me is that. And you still get those moments of sadness, of grief, and that's okay too. Nobody can tell you how to grieve, right? But the more
Mhm.
that you can tap into your heart, the more that you can tap into the vibrations around you, the more that you can talk to loved ones that have left this realm
You
because
can.
they're still
Yeah.
around you, right?
They are.
So there's certain things you can do to soften the blow, but nobody can tell you how to grieve because it's very personal to
No.
you, right?
You can only occasionally you can pick up some
Yeah,
tools or some tricks or some ideas that will help you, but you have to bring it into your heart. You
yeah,
have to sort it out for
100%.
yourself.
Yeah.
And what
I
does
mean,
this
yeah.
mean?
You can learn from others, right? If somebody
Yeah,
others can tell you
yeah,
how they grieved, and maybe you get some information, it's great.
yeah, yeah.
But nobody
But
can tell you how to, because you're a unique being that's on your own unique journey.
it is. It's a I feel like there's so many pathways, there's so many milestones in our lives where there's the beginning, there's the middle, that's very long, and then there's the end. And ultimately, to move through any path, it's within ourselves. It's our own
Yeah,
soul, identity. Even I'm glad we're talking about grief a little bit because as we see these shifts from planetary shifts, and to define planetary, it's not just people, it's
sure.
the whole planet. But people were kind of, you know, I
It's all
think,
part of
yeah,
everything, right? It's all
yeah,
part of the
exactly.
mix.
But as we shift into it, there's grief. There's like I always knew how to do this. I knew that what this was going to mean. I knew, the devil you know is
Yeah,
not is the devil you don't know kind of thing. But as we're asked to grow, even in childhood development, you see a little 1 year old they learn how to walk between 7 to 13 months, whatever. It's the crabbiest time of their
yeah.
like they cry and they carry on and they throw themselves on the floor and then they try again and
But that's what I feel like we're going through. I feel like we're all going through some kind of rebirth.
I think so.
And I feel
Yeah.
like we're all getting to know this new version of us. We're all falling on the floor, getting back up, not understanding what's happening. We all want to know what's coming next.
Yeah. Yeah. I know I want to know what's coming next too, but they're not telling me. They
Because,
want us to live through it.
well, and it's a leap of faith, right? They want you to trust.
Yeah. Well,
And
it's a leap of faith, but you know what else it's a leap of? And really wanted to ask you this is we're co-creating it.
100%.
And so it's like, what's coming next? Well, what do you want to come
Yeah.
next?
Yeah.
It's
And
like, wait,
also,
wait, wait. No, no, no. What's coming
yeah.
next? Yeah.
And it's like they give you glimpses, but you want
Mhm.
more. You want to
Yeah.
know it all, and it's because a lot of humans say, I love change. Of course, I love change. You love change when you know what it is, when you see it coming,
Yeah. Yeah.
when you don't see it coming, and we all feel change coming,
Hmm.
and it
We
makes
do.
us feel uncomfortable. And the human
It's,
mind loves to
yeah.
plan, right? It's like,
Yeah.
give me a plan, give me a next step, give
Yeah.
me,
Where's the manual? Yeah.
I want to know what to do next. And it's like, well, what you need to do next is to breathe, is to the self-care, is to be present and trust whatever's coming next.
And stay present because it's not happening just to you. You're
Yeah,
you're you're adding your soul. You're adding
yeah.
yourself to it. So that
And the
what comes
magic is in the
yeah.
present.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you can be present in this moment, just, close your eyes for a second
Hmm.
and just breathe in, feel the magic that's inside you and around you. Then, you know, then the next moment becomes even more magical. The next moment
Absolutely.
becomes,
Yeah.
and it's just, the unknown is uncomfortable. So this period is meant to be uncomfortable. So if you're feeling uncomfortable, unsure,
You're right
you're
on
feeling
target.
exactly where you're meant to be. But how much faith do you have on whatever's coming next?
Well, that's a really good question to dive into because there's a lot of information out there
Sure.
with like you said, you were starting to talk about astrology, and then some people are bringing back and interpreting the prophets of old days and saying, well, this is the time they were talking about, um and it can be um your imagination will take it and run with it and go
Yeah.
wild. And
Yeah.
that's
Yeah. And
here
what you
we
focus on expands, right?
yeah,
If you
yeah,
sit there watching the news all day and you're kind of like, then that's what you're gonna get. And
yeah,
it's just,
yeah.
it's an interesting time where I feel the divide between whatever terms you want to use, the 3D, the 5D, the conscious, whatever you want to call it. I feel like we all have a choice, and do we focus on the noise on the outside, the planet, whatever the planet's going through, or do we focus on the inside? And for whatever reason, all of a sudden I get hiccups when I
Yeah.
talk about that. But anyway, do we focus on the inside? And whatever you pick is fine. It's
Right.
not. There's no right or wrong. If you want to choose to get focused on whatever the pain there's in the world, then go
Hmm.
for it. And I'm not telling you not to send love to wherever there's pain. What I'm
Right.
saying to you is, if you focus on the inside, focus on shining your light unconditionally, then what if you set an example for other people to do the same? And the
Right.
more of us that are shining a light, the more of us are focusing on doing the healing the inside, then we become the bridge. We
We do.
become the for people to maybe follow and have a different. We're not here to force people to change. We're not. It's like I'd love to tell everybody, what, do the meditation,
Yeah.
do the.
Yeah.
But yes, if we all have free
Mm.
will,
We're here to inspire people
yeah, we set an
to
example.
to
We're the
see
bridge.
beyond what's in front of them. You know,
And by the way, we still got work to do too. Don't be under any illusion. There's like, once you do the work, all of a sudden, you don't have any work to do. I don't know. The day I've stopped growing, the day I stopped learning is probably the day I leave this realm. So, we still have we're still work in progress,
yeah,
right?
I actually feel that there's progression after we leave. There's still growth and
Sure.
learning after we leave,
Yeah.
but
I
it's a
mean,
miracle.
yeah.
It's the enjoyment. The like, oh my gosh, now this is
Yeah. I
very
mean,
cool.
this
So
conversation will be available forever.
yeah,
So
yeah,
when we leave this realm, our mark still can, somebody somewhere will find it, and who knows?
yeah. Keep on going, keep hanging in there. The best is yet to come.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Well, who decides what's the best and what isn't? But I do feel
yeah,
this is the thing. I do feel whatever you're going through, your soul chose, and your soul also chose to be here during this transitional,
yeah.
expansive time. And might be a weird thing to say, but I feel like it's a blessing.
Well, I do, and I feel that it's a blessing, but it's also we chose to be here, or we were chosen to be here because we can do it.
Yeah, yeah, and
Y-
we wanted, right?
Yeah, it's yeah,
And the reality, this is difficult times because for a lot of us, we've been struggling to belong, and we don't belong. and we try and fit in, we try and lead a program life, do whatever,
Not
the
working.
career and all that, and it's like it's because of the way we're programmed to do it, right? And it's just like and we struggle because we don't fit, but we're not meant to fit. That's the
Yeah,
point,
yeah.
right?
And that you're talking about everyone in general or just you and me? Because I know I don't fit
No,
anywhere. But I think
I
it's
think I'm sure there's a lot of people listening
yeah,
that
they
can relate.
don't fit.
That it's like I don't feel,
Yeah,
especially when we talk about the current. It's like the
yeah,
things we used to
absolutely.
do, the friends we have, the circles.
Yeah.
None of it feels like we're connected to anymore. And
Well, that's
this is the
true.
time to really pick your soul family for the next phase.
I
And
think
what
you're
I
right.
mean by that
Yeah.
is pick people. So if you people in your world, you have to lower your vibration to. You have to not be yourself. They drain you rather than expand you. Then I would challenge you to manifest people that lift your soul, that allow you to be you.
Hmm.
And this is the time to do it. And the other thing I always talk about is always remember you pick your blood family to expand you, not always to love you. Because we have we have this expectation that our blood family should love us, and maybe they should. Who knows? But you don't always pick them to love you. You pick them to expand you. So they're here to teach you something.
Yeah. Yeah.
And once you integrate that lesson, anyone in your life, you should look at all of them and ask, what's my soul contract with this person? Is my soul contract complete? And sometimes the answers are quite illuminating.
Yes, because sometimes the soul contract. I feel that we choose our birth family, blood family. Sometimes it's a gentle rewounding of something that
Sure.
our soul's been struggling through for many lifetimes.
That's what I'm saying. That you
And it's
pick them to expand, right?
yeah,
Expand
and
them,
then the
teach them.
completion. And if you've been
Yeah.
is this completed now? And if the answer is yes, you don't have to keep doing it. You
Yeah.
can move on. And that's I think that's one of the most illuminating things
Yeah.
I've come across in the Akashic
Yeah.
records is, hey, did I finish that? Yeah, you finished that 2 weeks ago. Can you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like you could still have people in your world if you choose to, but then
Hmm.
choose not to give your power away.
True. True.
It just if it's sometimes easier just to kind of. I mean, I would recommend if your soul contract's done, then let it go. But pick whatever. But you can
Yeah.
always take your power back.
Yeah.
Set your boundaries.
Yeah.
Take your power back.
Yeah. So different ways of taking your power back is don't take it personal anymore.
Yeah.
Don't prove yourself over it anymore. Accept it. This is the way it is, and this is how I choose to react and
Yeah.
respond to it. You're in charge.
It
When you
always comes
realize
to
you're in
you. Yeah.
charge.
It's your expectations. Always your expectations.
Yeah.
If you're expecting somebody to change,
You'd be disappointed.
yeah, I mean, because it's not your job to change them.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have to accept somebody for who they are in this moment. And if they're not here if they're not meant to be part of your journey moving forward, then they're not,
Let them go.
and
Yeah.
it's, and I get it. Sometimes we're worried about creating a gap because it creates a gap in our world, right?
It does.
But then what if that gap's meant to be filled by beautiful new souls that are meant to come into your world?
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I also have been noticing people choose to be different in their relationships. So they're not going to take care of the thing that they always took care of.
Yeah.
Again, challenging the person that they're with to be their best and highest.
Yeah.
Sometimes in relationships, we think the agreement is we always have to make the other person happy, and not always. It's to
Yeah.
stand your ground and say, you can do better than that. I can't play with this, and
Yeah. I
and
mean,
that's how we teach each
yeah.
other. We can challenge each other. We're not gonna, yeah,
And that's what soul contracts look like, right? It's like
yeah,
when you're with somebody, when you get together, you are aligned, right? In theory. But then
yeah.
when depending on where you take your path, the soul contract may be that I need to experience love with somebody, but I
Hmm.
also need to experience pain.
It could be.
And that's when and it's like you might be aligned, but then eventually with your journey you do get disconnected. And that soul contract is meant to teach you unconditional love, but it's also meant to teach you pain. But it's our expectations of what that relationship should look like, and the hope that this person I'm with, I'm married or whatever, they're going to turn into this person that I thought I was marrying. And we
Right.
stay in that situation when, again, you want to try and change people. That person you married doesn't exist anymore. The person you expect them to be doesn't exist anymore. The only
Because
person
it
you've
was,
got is the one in front of
yeah,
you.
because it was an expectation.
Yeah.
It was not really seeing the person for who they are.
Yeah. I mean,
Mm.
I'm not saying the expectation was wrong, right? But the reality is the person you have in front of you is the person you have. And, if you're not meant to be together, the soul contract's complete. There's no judgment. There's no right or wrong. It's because this journey isn't linear, right? There's no, there's going to be ups and downs and there's going to be pain.
Yeah.
And, but it's like you learn more. I wish it wasn't always like this, but you learn more from your painful experiences than you do the other experiences. So if you've experienced pain with somebody, then know that is in some way, that's a karmic release.
Mm-hmm.
I do feel like, there's a lot of karma being released in this lifetime, which is why I feel like we're experiencing life at such an extreme level, because
It's
we're
a big
releasing a lot of
clearinghouse.
personal and ancestral karma.
I'm really looking forward to the day when we're creating something beautiful instead of release. But sometimes we release you, you're free to create. But yeah, no, it is a lot of, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we are creating something beautiful. This conversation is beautiful, right? It's
Oh,
just
yeah. It's fun.
the magic is in the moment. It's like I feel like we're all waiting for this big epiphany, big flash in the sky, like all of a sudden we get all our answers, and it's like I feel like when we do that, we miss the small magic moments. I mean, you talked about Sidra. I remember a story where we were away somewhere. We had like a retreat somewhere. I can't remember, somewhere in the UK, and she did this meditation, and she kind of connected us to some aliens and stuff. And I didn't feel the aliens, and she went to somebody, and she's like, "Oh my God, I saw you connect with the aliens," and I was a little bit annoyed with myself, And she's like, "What's wrong with you?" And she's like, I'm just a bit annoyed, I didn't. And she's like, "You're crazy." I'm like, "Why am I crazy?" She's like, "Because you're expecting the big things, you're missing the small bits of magic. And when you add those small bits of magic together, they become the big epiphany." And, she had this way of just kind of getting under my skin. I'm like, "Oh man, you're so right." But it's true. We have magic around us all the time. But when we expect big bits of magic, when it doesn't come in the box that we expect it, we get frustrated and get annoyed, right? So
yeah,
there's so much magic around. I mean, it's like the new moon tomorrow, as an example. You
Oh
could,
yeah,
you could, yes. Well, so new moon on Friday, the 17th, and it's a beautiful time to manifest new things. But I really feel it's also a time that if you hold on to things, the universe is going to give you a bit of a reminder that you need to let go. So you can experience the magic of the new moon and the new manifestation and the vibration it brings with it, or you can hold on to that old version of yourself and get frustrated. It's a choice.
The hard version of yourself is the version you were trained to be.
Yeah.
But you were trained to be wasn't necessarily reflective of who you really are. And there's the peeling away of the spring. This springtime, it's in the northern hemisphere, and the southern hemisphere, people are going to sleep.
Sure.
But
Hibernation,
hibernation, but the pushing up of your essence breaks the expectations or breaks things open, which can be painful. And then you step into, oh, this is who I really am. No, I'm not going to agree with you on this anymore, which causes problems sometimes. But when you choose, I'm not going to agree with this, how we've been dancing, then we are free. But that doesn't mean anything except we're free. What are we going to do next with that? It's beautiful. It's just a beautiful.
I mean, the thing I like to do on like new moons and this sort of is step into my new self. Because sometimes we're holding on to our old self, right? The version, and by the way, be proud of that version of you, right? He or she's worked really hard to be where you are, but also his or her time is done.
Mm-hmm.
That's what, sometimes we struggle because we hold on to the old version of ourselves, including, our expectations. Then how does that translate? It could be in a career that you've come to the end of a line. Maybe you're meant to do something. It could be a relationship. It could be, anything, right? And it's how does whatever you're doing, how does the people how do they make you feel? This is the thing with this shift. We make it complicated. I think it's a shift from I think to I feel.
Yeah.
So even that simple change of how do I feel about this instead of how do I think about it changes the vibration of it.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah.
if you're thinking about, if you're thinking about something, or should I change this? Should I don't change the word think to how does this make me feel?
Right. Well, sense. We sometimes our mind drives our emotions and stuff. So but now we want our mind to we want our hearts to ask our mind, go find this. But observe, sense, pick up a potato and
Yeah,
feel all the energy within it and just let it talk to you about what kind of relationship you can have with this potato
yeah,
and where you want to take it, what do you want to do with it. So and then if you could feel the energy within that, feel
yeah,
it within your
yeah,
heart. Just let yourself
yeah.
it,
I mean, it's so beautiful, right? Just feel, use your senses. Five things you can touch, four
yeah.
things you can feel. It's like
Yeah.
just there is, like I said, I keep going around. Magic is in the moment. So
Yeah.
it's like, if you want to pick a potato and feel it, then do that. I mean, walk barefoot on grass. I love doing
Yeah.
that. It's like, just feel the grass under your feet and just allow Gaia to hold you.
Yeah.
Allow Gaia to hold your space.
Yeah. It's that. Although I love that. So take a breath. So what would you do? Take somebody's wound up tighter than you know what, and they need to shift. Take a breath. What?
Yeah, I mean, practice the pause. I mean, it's simple, right? Breathe, just deep breathing. 4 seconds in, hold it 4 seconds, 4 seconds out. Just
Yeah.
pause. No, it's like if somebody's pushing you for an answer, you're going to, you have 10 seconds. Just pause, breathe, and then switch from how do I feel about this? Because what happens is, when you're being pushed for a decision, somebody's triggered, the other person's triggered.
Mm.
Everybody's just triggered, and you're not really helping the situation. When you breathe, and sometimes it's okay to say, I'll come back to you tomorrow.
Yeah. 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 The
The world isn't
choice.
going to end if you don't decide something in this moment, right? It's like,
Yeah. The sun will come up tomorrow.
just
But it's
breathe.
true. You breathe, take a break. And when you breathe, what you're inviting in is that calm self, that wise self.
Yeah,
And you're giving her a chance to say, hey, guides, come talk to me.
yeah. It's like you're giving
Balance
yourself an
this.
opportunity to respond,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
respond is more heartfelt. And I always like to ask myself, it's like if I'm stressed about something, is this whatever I'm stressed about? Is it gonna continue to stress me in a week's time,
Mm.
in 3 weeks, in 3 months? Who knows? It's like
Mm.
we give so much power to things that actually next day isn't going to mean anything to us at all.
You know, right, right. I like that. I like when I look at time, I like to look not from these eyes, but from the heart and the third eye, just like, so if I play with this, where am I going to be in a week? Where am I going to be in 5 weeks? Where am I going to be in a month? Or this thing is going to just come apart in my hand, or am I going to create something that it really isn't? Because my projections
Yeah,
are going onto it.
100%. I mean, the other thing you can do is, the voice that's in your head that's always judgmental, change the tone of it, change the name, call it Donald Duck, call it Mickey Mouse, just have fun with it. Why does life need to be so
Just see
serious?
my inner ducks, my inner judge
Yeah.
is talking like Donald Duck, and it's
Yeah,
that'd
it's
be
like
very cool.
then all of a sudden you take his power away, right? It's like,
Yeah.
everyone talks about killing the ego and whatever. It's like, the ego is part of us. The darkness that we have in us is part of us. And it's not, it's when we
Mhm.
push our darkness away that we give it power.
Yeah.
If you just accept it and you may have fun with it.
I like to sit in my darkness right down in front of me. It's like I'm sitting at a table and it's on the other side. We have a cup of tea and we're like, what's going on here? What are
Oh,
you telling me? And it's because
because
all
it
of a
is
sudden it's
telling you
not
something. Yeah.
me. It's a part of me that I'm in relationship with, but it's not me. I get to choose because it's not running.
But that's the thing. When you don't do that sort of thing and have a conversation, what you're doing is you're pushing away.
Yeah.
And we're like a volcano. It's like you push something and actually give it more power, and eventually it has to come up. And this is
Yeah.
where it comes up in anger and illness, and but it's
Yeah.
like if you embrace your darkness, and
Yeah.
I feel like we're holding on to a lot of things right now, like inner child. What did you go through as a child? And sometimes we're holding that in, and or a conversation, an argument we have, or whatever. It's like we hold all this in, and eventually, our energy gets, and we get stuck up here because we've got no more space, and eventually
Mm-hmm.
has to come out, and it's just like be gentle with yourself, be kind. All these things you're holding on to, you're only harming yourself. You're not harming anybody else.
It's so true. Yeah. 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 It's kind of like forgiveness. You know, the only one you're hurting is you at this
100%.
point. The other person probably hasn't thought about it at all.
Yeah, I mean, they may have
Once,
said something
yeah.
to you, and you're
Yeah.
holding on to it, and they don't even remember they're saying anything to you. They've got their own stuff going on.
I said that. I said, what? What did I do? I didn't.
Yeah.
So,
And what, you still thinking about that? That was like, and they just look at you weirdly, and you're like,
mm,
oh, okay. But it is serving you, right? So if you're
yeah.
holding on to something, that trigger is a
Yes.
lesson.
It's a lesson. It's an inward point to say this needs to be healed. You need to bring this into balance here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is an example where the answer's in you, right? Not outside you.
Right. Right. Yeah.
So,
Absolutely. Yeah. So forgiveness is huge because it's this get yourself out of jail free card to I'm not going to struggle with
Yeah.
this anymore. And
yeah, forgive yourself, right? I mean, we forgive
Yeah.
other people so much quicker than we forgive ourselves.
absolutely, because we had a plan
Yeah.
and we just screwed up
And we
that
have
plan.
expectations. Yeah. It's like,
Yeah.
you know, oh, the other person made a mistake.
Yeah.
That's okay. Everybody makes mistakes.
But me, on the other hand,
Oh, exactly. You know, that's like, oh, you know, how dare you make a mistake?
well, I think it's an illusion of control when we don't forgive ourselves. We think we have the power to do more than we actually can do.
Yeah.
And
That's
so,
such an interesting way of putting it.
yeah.
Illusion. I mean, look at the last few years. How much control do we really have? You know, COVID, all this kind of, well, everything we've been through over the last 12 months, and, you know, kind of,
Yeah.
everybody's going through lots of shifts, and, you know, it's just, you know,
Yeah.
we've got clues. You know, it was the Chinese year of the snake. Snake's all about releasing skin.
Yep.
Yeah, so we saw it coming, but it was still, do we really have any control over anything? And just,
No.
if we can just realize that actually the only thing we control is how we feel this moment,
Mhm.
then it becomes easier, right?
And what we choose to do with it.
Yeah.
Just love ourselves, to surrender, to give ourselves credit for the effort that we've made, to be calm, be gentle, have some compassion and empathy for your own self.
Yeah.
And I didn't make the grade this week. You're good.
What grade? Who decides what
I
grade?
know. You got out of bed. You played with your people, and you told somebody you loved them, and you were kind. And that's you don't even know what
100%.
you walked and left behind you because you never looked. You were too busy yelling at
100%.
yourself.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what's going to walk us through this big change, this big paradigm
100%.
shift is one day at a time with loving yourself, forgiving the situation and accepting the change because everything changes. And if somebody decided to, we were never going to have cars and we're just going to always have horses, do you know what I mean? Where would we be right now? Things
Yeah,
are,
100%. You know,
yeah,
who knew, right?
yeah.
Just, and all of that stuff, I feel like so many new things that come through are all channeled anyway, right? They come from a different place, you know.
Yeah.
Everyone stresses about AI and things like that. Look, AI is going to change the world for sure, but whatever you want it to be, it'll be. So if you want it to take your job, it'll take your job. Whatever you manifest. But I feel like people are, I feel
We
like
are old enough to know
100%.
before computers, before personal computers. We are old enough to remember that.
Yeah.
And what a gift they are now that we're able to communicate with people. You're in London, I'm here. So AI, yes, it will change the world, but it will change how you think about things.
It can't replace the spiritual work, right? I feel like some people use it that way, and it's like,
No.
you still gotta you still gotta connect with your guides. You still gotta, it's like asking AI for all the answers. It's like it can give you insight, but so can your guides, right? Yeah, it's a tool.
It's a tool. It's a tool that has a lot of information,
100%.
but the wisdom is here. The wisdom and the integration is here. Yeah.
We have access to so much information that isn't. This is the thing. It's like we have so much information here in our brain that we've fought for. We've learned, and it's like, but whatever we create in the future isn't going to come from here.
It's not going to come from here. It's going to come here.
This is only limited. This is only limited to what we've experienced in this lifetime. But when we connect to our heart and our soul and channel we have access to so much new information that we never tapped
Oh,
into.
yeah.
This is the thing I think about this period, because you asked me earlier, why do I feel like the planet has more support? I feel like we have more support around this planet, whether you call it aliens, whether you call it star seeds, whether you call it angelic beings, whatever you want to call it. I feel like because the shift the planet's going through, I feel like we have much more support that you can lean on if you're open to it. I feel like our guides are so much more present. I feel like we have some really deep and ancestral ancestors that are coming through that have information that we've never touched. So I feel like we can tap into a whole wealth of information that's there that we've never had access to before.
Exactly right. Yes.
That will just give us, it's like for so many of us, maybe we have books in us, maybe we have channeled message that we need to share. Maybe we need to still start a podcast or use something to share whatever information we're receiving. And the more that you integrate it and share it, the more that you open that channel up to more information.
Because it's like an exercise. The stronger you get, the more that you open, it's just like an opening within yourself, and you can hold that information, understand it, and then once you have it, you can live it. And as you are living this new information, and you keep doing it, and then you look back a year and go, doing something totally different than what I ever.
And sometimes you have a conversation, you're like, wait, where did that information come from? And it's like,
right.
But sometimes when we channel information, we try and understand it in our brain. And this is the thing, it's like a lot of the information that's coming through, our brain's not going to, because our brain is human, it's from this life. And it's just like, the more that we can receive and just feel it in our heart, the more that we can then translate it in a way that we can share it.
Well, I see when people channel or go into deep meditation or bring information out, they grow leaps and bounds themselves as people. So I recommend it for everybody.
It's a co-creation, right?
Yeah. And those beings that are guiding us and helping us, they're real, and they have a bunch of wise guys out there in spirit that are helping us to find that.
And they want to help us, right?
Yeah, they want to create. Heard some really beautiful messages from different channels. I tend to go towards channels who are giving me something to step into, a positive action to take, something like I can see a vision, I can envision something beautiful,
like journey meditations.
Yeah, but I have a hard time, and this is something to consider for anyone listening, is if it's scaring you or if it's making you pull in, it's not the message for you.
Yeah, 100%. If just because something has X number of followers or X number of, trust your intuition. It's like, how does it make you feel?
Do you know?
If it doesn't make you feel good, then it's not for you. And it's okay.
Yeah.
And the same with people, by the way. So if somebody new comes into your world, how do they make you feel?
Yeah. Do they inspire you? Do they?
100%. Because that's how you discover if you have a soul contract with them. If they feel familiar, and if they feel like you already feel a connection, then maybe you have a soul contract with them. Maybe you need meant to go deeper. But if they, your friends, whatever, maybe have lots of people around them that really talk highly of them, but they may not be assigned to you. So if they don't feel right, it's okay.
Exactly. Let it go, let it flow. I'm watching people march in and out of my life lately has been not taking it personally, and what is the gift in this moment, and let it go to where it's been. So the gift can be, I've given to you, now you go ahead, or the gift is now you're giving something back to me. And I feel like just letting it, the energy exchange is what I mean by it. Happen. And
reason, season, life, right? Some people come into your life for a reason, sometimes for a season, and sometimes for life, and it's okay. And bear in mind, we go through many rebirths. It might not be your full human life. It could be just this part of it, right? And it's just like, it's just. I love
the our lives to remind us. It's like somebody, angel will tap somebody on the shoulder. She forgot or he forgot. Can you go remind them in whatever way you can think of?
It's a short time, right? I mean, I love the phrase that God, universe, source, whatever you want to call it, clears your path because he hears the conversations about you behind your back.
I love that.
It's because I feel like our path's cleared because we've outgrown the people, and that's okay. Our soul
Yeah.
contract's complete.
Yeah.
Why does everything need to be so painful? Sometimes, the universe clears the path and it's creating a vacuum, it's creating space for
Yeah.
new people.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Um, or the universe helped you dodge a bullet.
Yeah,
And
100%.
that person was,
Yeah,
yeah, you're complete now. We're going to distract them and move on.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. We're going to create
But,
either some drama or some
yeah.
natural releasing and just be done with it, right?
Yeah. I think the key is for me is who am I right now? How am I experiencing myself? How do I feel about myself? What is the energy? Is this distracting me from who I really am meant to be, or is this distracting me from my soul's work? Is this or is this leading me deeper into my soul's work? If it's a big distraction and it's making you feel not so good, let it go. Or
Yeah,
I have so many times I've said the prayer, I'm not sure what to do with this person. I'm having trouble letting go. I give it to God, and that person does what they got to do.
yeah, 100%. And it's
Yeah.
like letting go of your expectation of that relationship, that friendship,
Friendship, yeah, yeah.
and being
And,
real
and
with
those
what it really is.
relationships, yeah.
Yeah,
And those relationships can include um, where you go shopping, what you purchase, what you eat, what you watch on
yeah. I mean,
television.
what you feed
Yeah,
yourself right now is really important. And what I
yeah,
mean by that is what you watch, what you read, who you spend time with, and sure,
yeah,
what you physically eat right now is really important. The more that you
right.
can
Yeah,
consciously, if you choose to watch the news all the time, that's up to you. But I would encourage you not to do that. Um, you can still
yeah.
be
This is enough.
informed
Yeah,
by a quick scan of whatever, right? If you really feel
yeah,
like you need to, and then who you spend your time with. What do you spend your time watching and reading? It's like, and then
yeah,
what are you physically eating? It's like,
yeah.
is it nourishing you? Are
You
the
know,
conversations
yeah,
nourishing you?
exactly. Just like right now, it's we're having a blast. When the I have a philosophy that our emotions hold our creativity, and our creativity holds our intuition, and our
Sure.
intuition is our connection to soul and to source. And so it's the heart
Yeah,
that
it's almost like the
has,
chakras then, right? As you
yeah,
move through.
exactly, exactly. Well, we've been going on for,
Yeah, I was
I
gonna
need
say.
to, so it's been a beautiful podcast. You can find, Nimesh or Nims on his website, and it'll be in the show notes when we read it. But it's Nimesh-Radia
Yeah,
dot. That's your website .co.uk, or did I put it? No,
no,
Nimesh
it's .com.
.com. Oh yeah, I was typing up late last night. So so all these will be ways to get a
I
hold of
think
you.
you can
Have a
use, yeah, I think you can use both, but I think .com is easier. So.
.com, yeah. And then
Yeah.
our email is dimash-radio at hotmail.com. And on his website is beautiful ways to connect with him, to talk with him. He's got a tremendous amount of sessions, mentorships that you can go through and then become a coach. I noticed that you can become your
Yeah.
own mentor in your own right. Right. So, and then he has podcasts called Podcast Journey Dash Path to Awakening
It's
and
spiritual journey. Spiritual journey.
spiritual. I don't know what's the matter with me. Spiritual.
All
Just
good.
what's it called? Say what's the name of your podcast?
Spiritual journey, path to awakening.
Thank you. I'm just letting you do it. And then
It's fine.
and you can find it on YouTube. You can find it on any podcast
Yeah,
station. And we could do them twice a week. Just these
twice a week.
lovely
Yeah, yeah. All
and
channels,
beautiful.
nothing scripted. So
Okay.
whatever comes through,
Cyber.
comes through.
Just like today was
Yeah,
channeled coming up. I love that.
100%. I love it. I love this. It's why do we need to script anything, right? It's life, right? So
If Spirit's going to talk through us, get out of the way and let him talk.
100%.
But so I want to thank you for coming on. An hour is just not a long enough
Yeah.
time with you,
We could talk
and
for hours, right? Yeah.
yeah, and we'll work on something later on, I would suppose, and I really thank you for coming on and for your time, and um, you've helped us through what could be a difficult week. So,
Yeah, stay present. I mean, I, It's like there's two ways you can look at it, right? Is it going to be a difficult week or is it an expansive week?
I think it's
You
an
take
expansive week. Aries is
yeah,
always like, it is springtime.
action orientated, right? So, I mean, I'm an Aries sun and I have an Aries stellium. So, in theory, the
Oh, there
human
you
in
go.
me,
This is your time.
yeah, the human in me is, ready for a big shift, and spirit is always ready. So I kind of like bring it
Yeah.
on, right?
Yeah. So this is your time.
Yeah.
And so you have a wonderful, wonderful time of it while we're in this new moon. Plant something to grow through and see where it goes, whether it's mentally, emotionally, or spiritually.
100%. Or
Yeah.
physically, right? Whatever
Yeah.
it's meant to be.
Physically. I was going to plant that potato I was imagining.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe you need to, right? Yeah, I love
I think I'm being called a bland potato. But so anyway, I want to thank everybody for listening, whether it's live or whether it's on the podcast. Go in peace, go in grace. Know that your guides are around you. And so stay within the grace that God has given you. And I'll see you in the next episode.
Are you feeling a disconnect in your life? I see it's time to make a direct connection to find your soul's power and wisdom. Join Nancy Smith to learn tools and steps you can take to create calm and confidence in your life.